So what is your favorite part of writing, Kelly?
I actually enjoy research because I do a lot of science fiction books, or I try to write as much reality into my science fiction as possible. So a lot of the science that's in my books, most of it is stuff that's actually based on real science. And there are instances where I might have to tweak them a little bit. But for the most part, I like the research, and I like just flat out pantsing. It's that point where I have to go from plotting to pantsing that I always struggle with. So,
Oh, I plot nothing. That's why Bray Willow doesn't drink, but probably by the time we end our relationship, she will. So, Carol-Ann, how about you? What do you like best?
Dialogue. I love to write dialogue. It runs in my head.
That I love that too. Sometimes I have to go back and put in the action. So,
yeah.
And Miss Louisa, I have to admit, everyone should be obsessed with dragons. So, what is your favorite part of writing? Wait, unmute yourself.
Unmute.
Okay, everyone. There you go. Bottom left-hand corner. Go ahead.
Got it. I just adore the beginning creative process where the story is beginning to run through my head and the characters are starting to appear and they're starting to speak to me and the story starts unfolding and rolling through my brain. And it's just the most delightful, exciting, like, I can't believe where these ideas are coming from process that I just fills my life with creative energy and excitement. So that I just love. And I think that I will always be a writer, probably for those reasons.
Fantastic. All right, Dee, how about you?
I like character development, which I think is why I write romance. I like getting in their heads, and it's almost like having friends come and stay with you for a while. You know, they're always in my head for a while I'm writing, and you just feel like you have a couple of friends staying with you for a while.
How about you, Miss Bray? What's your favorite part besides editing? That's my favorite.
I like when they come to life and they do things, or you write things that you don't expect. And, you know, as you're writing, you go, "Ooh, I didn't know she was going to say that," you know, and like it's coming out of your head, and yet you're surprised by what's flowing onto the page. I don't think there's anything cooler than when that flow happens and it just starts to kind of come out.
And also putting emotion into your writing.
And emotion is very important, as many people have heard me say.
So, Ms. Kelly, in the last year, I hate to use the word pandemic because I'm tired of using it, but in the last year and a half, has all this time to yourself helped or hindered your writing?
Hindered. I think mostly because we all have our own creative process and the spaces that we discover sometimes that we thrive in as far as writing. And I discovered a year or two ago that one of the spaces I thrived in to get writing done, that allowed me to just be without feeling like I had a bunch of responsibility on my shoulders around me, were coffee shops. So during the pandemic, I kind of lost that. And I put my efforts into creating a space at home, which is my office. But I work here for my job, like every day. And so you can't separate your writing from your professional space. I don't know. It definitely hindered. But I've met a lot of people online, a lot of other authors and a lot of other readers that maybe I wouldn't have connected with before this uprising of Zoom and Skype and all that. So that's been pretty nice.
Nice. And I'm a horrible person. I forgot to ask Sam, what's your favorite part of writing?
It's no problem.
Why are they sitting over there going, what the hell is she doing?
Not a problem at all. My favorite part of writing, like Kelly, I also enjoy the research aspect, and also that moment when after I've been stuck for a time with some writer's block and then finally have a breakthrough and the ideas return. That is just a wonderful feeling and is so great. So that's probably my favorite.
I know, in writer's block, like the worst. I just wrote a book that's called Writer's Block, and it was like a self-proclaiming prophecy for the next.
Yeah.
So, but thank you, Miss Sam. All right, Miss Carol. What about this pandemic? Has it helped or hindered?
Well, I suppose I'd have to say it helped because I was desperate to figure out what to do being confined. So of course it had to be writing. So in April of 2020, I started without an idea. And after a few days, I realized I wanted to write a book about lesbian nuns. And I wrote one and it's about done, and I'm going to bring it out in October.
They're giving you meaning to, oh God, oh God.
Yeah, it was another way of writing about people who are confined and feeling confined, but I didn't want to write about pandemic.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. All right, Miss Louise, how about you?
Well, like Kelly, I had to move my office to home too for work. But I abandoned my kitchen table for my workspace. So I was able to keep my own personal writing space separate from my work. And it actually was fantastic for me, the pandemic. In 9 months, I finished Gwen the Emerald and submitted her for contract. And then in the past months, I've started in book 3 and I'm far along in it. So for me, it was a good thing in all ways as far as my writing process went.
Fantastic. How about you, Sam?
This is in regards to the pandemic, if it's helped or hindered.
Right.
Definitely helped, I would say. It gave me more time. I was able to complete this trilogy, and I wrote another book and am like 2/3 of the way through another one. So the time was just so precious to me, despite the outside circumstances writing wise. It was really, really great.
Okay. All right, Dee, how about you?
The pandemic did not help me for a couple of reasons. I've only been retired for less than a month. And my job with my Class G company, which is the 3rd largest media company in the US, we were, as you can imagine, exceptionally busy reporting on the pandemic. And I worked as an editor for them. So there was tons of information to sort through and edit. And so I was really busy with work. Plus, when they sent us all home to work from home, I realized that I didn't have to be in North Carolina anymore. And if the pandemic did anything, I think it made a lot of people reevaluate what, and feel the need to be closer to home, to family. And I have a large family, and they all live in Georgia, which is where I'm from. And we lost both my parents in the last 5 years. And so it's up to me and my 2 sisters, which I'm very close to keep the family together. So I told my company I'm moving back to Georgia. So in the middle of the pandemic, I sold a house in North Carolina, bought a house in Georgia. And that was very difficult because of all the rules, the pandemic rules. And so I had even less time to write and book deadlines, contract deadlines to meet. And the pandemic was extremely hectic for me.